Hi everyone, welcome back to RTS. And what are we going to do today? Rearrange the stuff? Yes, we're going to do some organizing. And so the reason I thought I would pull these out is because I had just finished up with an album recently and I had these leftover strips that I had used my edge punches with, and I thought, well, I'm just going to stick these in with my border strips because I definitely want to reuse them. I'm not going to throw them away. No. Okay. And so I thought, well, I'll just turn on the camera, and this probably won't turn quick because you know how I get to talking. So just pause and go get something to drink now. But I wanted to talk about this category because this was the one I could not figure out. For years. And I had asked so many people, and truth be told, I even reached out to 2 professional organizers because I couldn't figure out a system. And they just wanted to sell me product. It just was not something. And the reason is because they're 12 inches in size, and it's kind of like paper, you know, it has to work in a certain measurement. And I don't have drawers that would fit this, and you know, I have to deal with a lot of boxes and bins, and I have bookcases. So, you know, my shelves just aren't as huge as, you know what I'm saying. I just needed to come up with a system, and then it had to be something accessible because I want to use them. So at one point in time, this is what I dealt with. Now, truth be told, this isn't what they looked like before I turned the camera, before I turned the camera on. I just ungrouped some of these so you could see what I was dealing with at one time. And you may be dealing with this right now. You might just have this in a box or a bin right now, and it's causing you a headache. So this doesn't work for me. If I have to look for supplies or a color or something I want like this, my brain will shut down, and I'll never go to it, I'll never look for it, and I'll never reach it, and I'll never use it. Well, that's a waste of money, right? So I knew I had to come up with a system. And so I thought, well, you know what I could do is that I could put them by color and stick them in like in a tall metal cylinder can or a bucket or something like that. Well, that didn't work either. Now I'm talking several years has been going on since dealing with this. So, because if they're out in the open, they're going to get dusty. Well, that don't work for me. I don't want my product dusty. So I thought, well, what am I going to come up with? Because, you know, I don't have a huge amount, but I have a nice amount of these. And someone will say, well, how did you get so many of these? Well, I've been scrapbooking a long time, and also too, you know, I tear apart my 12 by 12 sticker sheets when I'm done playing with it initially, and so that's what I do. And then, you know, sometimes you punch your own, you know what I'm talking about. And a lot of people will keep branding strips. Now I will tell you, I don't keep branding strips. I throw them away. Well, let me just be honest. I'm working on the load challenge, and this is my pile of scraps just from 20 some days. You see all these branding strips? If I wasn't keeping these for someone, this all would be in the trash. Maybe not these, but this would all be in the trash. I don't keep those. Nope. Too much of a headache for me. I have too much paper. I don't keep branding strips. But if you do, this is a solution for that, okay? So, how do I want to start this? And I hope I don't have the raccoon syndrome too much today. Oh my goodness, I think load is starting to affect me. I'm in such a creative mode. It's just been wonderful. Okay, so I had to come up with a solution. Reached out to a couple people. They just wanted to sell me product. And I'm just going to say this right now. Product, going out and buying a box or a bin or a basket or a new gadget is not going to help you with organizing. So you just don't even do that. That is our first knee-jerk reaction when we want to organize something. We run to the store. No, that's not. Learn from me. And I think maybe that's to my benefit because I don't have stores near me. So I can't just run to the stores to buy anything. So I have to think. And that's what I'm going to say. You need to think about how you scrap, how you craft, how you play before you go buy anything. So back to the point at hand. I knew that for me, I need to organize these by color because that's how I scrap. That's how I'm going to reach for these. And so I'm going to talk about my actual rainbow color system in just a minute. But for you, you might want to organize by collection or by manufacturer. Or maybe you want anything that has a decorative edge in one pile. Or maybe you want just your chipboard in one pile because this also works for, you know, our 12-inch chipboard pieces. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, or it can work for paper that's left over and you used your punches. Same thing. Okay, or you know, we have those 12-inch papers that have those border strips and you cut them apart. Again, same thing. I put them all in one category. Okay, so again, I can't say that enough. You need to organize in how you, not what you see on Pinterest, not your girl next door, how you scrap and how you craft, because that's what it's all about. You're the one that's going to be working with it. Okay, so I will have in the description box below a listing of my rainbow, so don't worry about writing this down. And again, this is my rainbow system. And so, you know, years ago when I was teaching my little girl about the rainbow system and Roy G. Biv and all that, I tried to figure out where the history of this whole color wheel and color chart and rainbow system, where it all came from. And really, I honestly never did figure that out. I don't know if it was Sir Isaac Newton or Aristotle or the Renaissance period. I don't know where this Roy G. Biv came about. But, you know, that's what we use and that's what we were taught. And I'm sure that's how you teach your kids, is the Roy G. Biv, which is the reason why it's an acronym, because Roy stands for someone's first name, G for his initial, and Biv for his last name. So that's why it's easy to remember. Now, I think in Britain terms, I think they actually have a sentence that they use instead of Roy G. Biv, but that's just a little tidbit. Okay, so with my rainbow system, I start from light and I go clear to dark. So in the Roy G. Biv system, you know, we have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. That's what Roy G. Biv stands for. Well, hello. Where is white supposed to go? Where is pink supposed to go? And our beloved turquoise, where is it supposed to go? So again, you come up with a rainbow system and how you think and how you're going to go look for something. If you're going to go look for something and you want your red first in your rainbow, you go right ahead. If you want your pink at the end of your rainbow, you go ahead. But one thing I want to stress right now, when you're coming up with a rainbow system, you know, a color system, more than just the Roy G. Biv. However you use it in one category, say what says border stickers, use that same rainbow color scheme when you're doing your papers, your embellishments, washi, anything. Use that same system. And if you have to write it down, which is what I did years ago, I wrote my rainbow system down, and I now know it by heart, because I've used it in every category, whether it's my embellishments, my paper, this, washi. I use the same system, because then it'll just be ingrained in your brain. Okay, does that make sense? And I know that Tiffany Spalding, she has a lot of organizing videos, and she says the exact same thing. Whatever you use in one category as far as your rainbow, you need to use that in something else. And I'll have her link below. She has some great organizing videos. And her thought process and how she teaches is right on spot. Okay. So, my rainbow system is white, ivory, pink, red, orange, yellow, green, turquoise, blue, purple, brown, gray, black. Okay? That's my rainbow system. Now, within my rainbow system, I have another couple little subcategories, meaning sometimes white and ivory will go together. Sometimes I'll have two shades of pink. I'll have light pink and dark pink. It depends on how much of that product I have, especially with my embellishments. I have to separate them into light pink and dark pink because I have so much of them, because I use pink. Okay? It might be green for you, or turquoise, or well, orange and yellow, or red, okay? And then coral. Where does people put coral? And again, it's wherever you want. Some people put it in the red. Some people have it in the beginning of orange. Some people have it in pink. I put it between pink and red. But then that's how I do it, okay? And so then what else do I do? Purple, okay. You know, we don't have a lot of purple of anything. So with purple, I add the category of multicolored items. And do I have something here by meaning what I mean by that? Let me see. Okay, here would be two examples. This is multicolor. So when you see something like this, you think, well, where is it going to go? You can do it one of two ways. You can say, well, what color you see first? That would be navy. What do you see here for me? That would be red. It's going to be different for everybody. Or you can just put these in a multicolor section. Okay? And so that's what I do. Okay? And I put that in with purple. But now, honestly, with this one, I'll put in with blue. This one I'll put in with probably red. But your multicolors, you can do it however you want. So my multicolored items, like with my embellishments and things like that, I put them in with my purple because I don't have a lot of purple. Okay, and you'll see that coming up when I show my stickers and die cuts. And so then how do I get my metallics in? I put my silver with my gray, because to me that's the same color family, and gold goes at the end of my black. So I have gray and silver, black, and then gold. Because that's just how my brain thinks. Gold is at the end of my rainbow, because I think of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Okay, that might be corny, but that's how my brain thinks, and so I put gold at the end of my rainbow. Okay, so you can put your metallics in whatever grouping you want. Okay, so now, again, use your rainbow. Come up with your rainbow, how you would go look for it. If you're not going to go look for it in this system, say maybe you want all pastels together, or you want all your darks together. It's the rainbow system. You have to think about in your mind, how are you going to go look for it? Okay, and again, keep it set up in the same in all areas. Okay, so what are we going to do? Okay, so you know I have these lovely border strips. Okay, so let's actually get to this. And like I said, this was an area that just boggled me, and I wasn't using them. At one point in time, I'm going to be honest with you, I thought about donating all of them. Just getting rid of the whole kit and caboodle. And I did get rid of probably a third of mine, the ones I didn't like. But that's just part of purging, and that's another whole topic. So what I would do is I would sit here and I would just group these by color, okay, according to what my rainbow is. Okay, and I know I've done my rainbow for years. I know what it is. And so I'll just keep playing along. And I'm not going to sit here and do this. But I find it relaxing when I watch people organize. Except the hoarders show. I'll tell you. As much as I like to see progress done, that show makes me sit and cry so much. I stopped watching it. I cry. Because, you know, you feel so sorry for people. Okay, so again, this is what I would do. I just separate this. Now, whatever section you feel you have a lot of, maybe you have a lot of blue, you might want to do two piles. You might want to do a light blue and a dark blue. Again, it's all in what you are going to do and what you're going to use. And let me just say this right now. No matter what you organize in your room, don't worry if it's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect. It's never going to be perfect. It's just what's going to work for you right now at this point. Okay, there I got a pink. Okay, so that's what I do. I would just continuously go through this whole pile and I would separate them into bundles. Okay, so that's what I would do. And then within my bundles, I use these, they come from the Dollar Tree. It's these ponytail holders. Okay, they're about as cheap as anything. You know, I mean, they're cheap, they're $1, but they're also cheap in product, okay? And they're going to break. That's why you get so many of them, okay? So use the black. Now, there's clear that comes in them, but don't use the clear. I'll tell you why. Clear's not going to show up. Black's going to show up, okay? And these are going to break. I guarantee you they're going to break. They're not going to last forever, but it's just something to keep them in a bundle, okay? As simple as can be. So then, what am I going to do with my bundles? Again, I had to come up with a system that I could see them by color, they were neat and tidy, and they were accessible. So what I did was, I simply took a 6x12 bag, and now I know how much I have, and so I have two of these bags. I have my light colors, meaning I have half my rainbow in one bag, and then I have half of my rainbow in the other bag. And that's what I do. And I have these two bags, and that's how I have that all organized. Now, that is a much, much better than this. Can I get an amen? Okay, so think about how you can make something work for you. Okay, now these are 6x12 bags, and you're going to say, well, they look familiar. Okay, and what I do, honestly, I just stick these in here and see how they'll fit because they're 6x12 bags. Now, is this the most prettiest option? No, but who cares? It's about function. You know, this isn't Pinterest worthy or Insta story or whatever, okay? This is about being real. This is about using your product, keeping them nice, okay? And that'll be half of them. And that's how I store them. And then what I do is I have them in a deep drawer where I have my flare and some other things, and that's how I reach them because they're right by my desk. They're all organized. I say if I want a pink, I just pull out that bundle, and there you go. That's what has worked for me. And believe me, I've tried many, many different ways. Now, a couple other little tips is when I'll get back to these bags in a minute. When you're organizing these, okay, go ahead and clean them up while you're organizing them. Okay, you see this mess here? Just go ahead and rip that off. Get some nice clean edges, okay? Again, all this stuff here, we don't need to be dealing with that. Just rip that stuff up. Get them nice and clean, you know? And then, you know, you see here, this is another tip. When you have these border stickers or washi strips, whatever you want to do, you can use your punches. And I use this for a corner rounder. Okay, and I will cut that off, and then that will no longer go in my 12-inch border. That's going to go in my sticker binder, okay? So, again, I used half of that. That's not going back in. These are cut apart. Yeah, they're not going back in. So I will put them with my other stickers. They no longer fit in this category. So then my last tip is when you're running into something that's multicolor. Okay, you can do it one or two ways. Again, you can just look at it and say, what color do you see most? Well, for me, it would be yellow here, and sometimes it's the pink there. So you can put one in one color and one in another color. But I have had two, well, actually I've had three of this collection. It's by Echo Park. It's called Pretty Girl. It's just one of my favorite collections. And so I already have this in my pink group, so I'm going to put this in my yellow group. Okay? So that's how you can do your duplicates. Okay, so those bags. So you're going to say, well, those bags look familiar. Well, yes, they do. You know why? Again, it's the same bags I use for my thickers and alphas. Yes, yes, yes. It's the same 6 to 12 bag. And I'll have the link below. You can just find some on Amazon. 100 in a bag. Not very expensive. Okay, so that's just one option that you can do. And that's what has worked for me. And honestly, I'm telling you, I spent a long time trying to figure out this mess right here. Ugh. I mean, it aggravated me. I mean, when something aggravates you to the point that you just want to purge it so you don't have to deal with it, you either purge it or you come up with a solution. Okay? And so that's what I did. I tried some things, and I will tell you, I've been doing that. I think it's over, maybe, it's over 2 years, maybe going on 3 years, and it works. Works like a charm. And so, you know, I just showed you, I had these leftovers. I'm just going to pull out those colors, stick them to them, and if these things break, that's okay. You got a whole bag of them. Okay? So, now you say, well, where do you want to store them? Well, don't store them where they're going to get dusty. Okay? Because you see your ends are still sticking. Don't sit them where you're going to get sunlight. Don't get them where you're dusty. Put them, you know, if you can have a drawer. I don't know. Finding drawers this size is I don't have anything IKEA, you know. I don't have IKEA drawers and all those type of things. So I just, if you find a deep drawer, that's where I have them. I have them right to my right. And I just, actually, they're right near my catalog system. And I just reach in, grab them. There you go. So that was my next point. Just make sure they're accessible once you organize something. Okay? Because if they're not accessible, then don't spend the time organizing anything, really. Just make sure that's near your desk. You know, easy access. And then also, too, this is what I find the most interesting, is that I have these near my scraps. Okay, so when I'm thinking I want a little strip of something, instead of going to my scraps, I now know that I can just go to this, and I have a whole bundle ready in whatever color I want. And so now, not only are they that 12-inch strip that I need, but some of them have a decorative strip. So I suggest having these placed not only near your desk, but near your scraps. And your scraps should be near your desk. And I'll have a video coming up to explain that process. So, I think that is about all I have to say about that, other than organizing is fun, isn't it? And sometimes, and I know you're going to say the same thing that I'm going to say, sometimes it's like we spend more time organizing than we do sitting down and creating. But honestly, at the end of the day, within our hobby, there's five main components. So you have the shopping habit. Well, should I say a shopping habit? You have the shopping category. And then you have the learning category, because you have to learn what you just bought. And then you have the actual creating part, because you just learned what you just bought. You learned how to use what you just bought. And then you have the organizing, because of the three above. And then number 5, the last component, which I think is the most important of our hobby, is when you share it with others. So those are the 5 components. So it's okay to sometimes be in a season where all you're doing is organizing. That's okay. You know what you have. You know, and I think, you know, the more you organize, the more you know what you have, the more you know what you don't need, what you do need, and then that reduces your spending. Okay? So honestly, those are the 5 components of our hobby, and there are times when you're going to spend more time creating than organizing, which is my month of May right now. And then, but in March, I spent practically the whole month organizing. So it all comes in seasons, right? So don't worry if you're spending more time in one category than another. It will all work out. However, with that, if you find that you are organizing way too much and you're not crafting enough, you need to ask why. And for me, my answer was, I know this is going to hurt your ears, I was shopping too much and too often. But I will talk about that in another video. So give it some thought. If you keep organizing and organizing and organizing and having to buy different product to organize, Stop for a moment and think why. Okay? So I think that's all I have for today. You know, no matter what component of the hobby you're in, enjoy it. Come back to RTS. Sit with me, craft with me, learn some things, teach me some things. So, how do you organize these? Do you have a system that works? Please, please, please share with me, because I'm always looking for something better. But for right now, this is working for me. And what did I have as far as expense? I had $1 for this bag, you know, at the Dollar Tree. And then I didn't spend anything because I have quite a section, you know, quite a collection of those. So it didn't cost me anything but $1. And honestly, I wish I would have came up with this like 10 years ago, because I've spent money trying to organize these puppies. So, okay, well, I hope that helped. Please list some of your ideas and thoughts below. And I hope this didn't get too long, but that's okay. It's all about having fun. Okay, come back to RTS, because you never know what we're going to learn. Bye.